So thinking about being in the world and really being practical, one of the questions, and I'm putting two together, is how do you really teach our affluent, oftentimes this non-suffering Asian American professionals about suffering with the hurting and doing mercy from the heart? And that kind of also relates to just in general, how do you show mercy when you have a full work week in the city and things like that? So.
I guess I'll start. I think that's a hard question, and a lot of it has to do with just praying before the Lord and really seeking God in your own situation. I come from a background which is very upper middle class, working people, but God can reach into that world. I think it's important to just try and connect people who may be removed. I think in American society, we tend to be very separated in terms of economic status, that a lot of times the people that are wealthier just never even go into the neighborhoods where people are really poor or are really struggling. And I think maybe the first step is even just trying to make those connections, trying to make it personal, of making sure we're not just crossing on the other side of town, but maybe we can go in and actually get to know even just one or two people who would be considered poor, who might need mercy, because I think when we start realizing that they are people, that makes a big difference, and it kind of rearranges our priorities. And another thing just to consider is that God has called us to do mercy. It's not really an option in the Bible. So I think it is, again, just a matter of prayer, and not that you need to quit your job and go become a missionary or whatever. I think it's really a matter of wisdom and seeking the Lord, and what do I have time for, and what is wise, and but always knowing that in the character of God, mercy is so important, and loving people is so important. It's really a question that I think you have to wrestle with, and maybe you have to wrestle with it for your whole life at different points, but
I guess I think one of the important things that I learned from Q was that the brokenness isn't just economic, and that there's brokenness that goes farther than just homelessness. And what the fall did to man in Genesis 3 was a holistic breaking down of the person. And so mercy needs to be extended not only for those in economic need, not despite that, because that's something that we definitely need to engage in as a church, but in affluent societies, look at the divorce rates. In affluent societies, look at the broken families, the drug use that's rampant in the suburbs. There's brokenness that happens even if it's not economic, and that's mercy ministry that needs to be extended to those groups also. And so when you rub shoulders with them and spend 80 hours a week with people like that in your life, you have to, I think, see where God's put you, not as a barrier, but as your opportunity to extend mercy to those people who have such difficult problems in their life.